All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, following an 8-24 season on the hardwood, Michigan set their sights on former Florida Atlantic head basketball coach Dusty May to turn things around for their program. May and Michigan agreed on a 5-year deal as the native of the Midwest returns to the region that he grew up in as he looks to turn around the fortunes of the Wolverines. Now, things fell apart for May's predecessor at Michigan this past season in Juwan Howard, as under him, the Wolverines only went 3-17 in the Big Ten, while overall they lost at least 8 games by at least 15 points rather. So May brings with him plenty of excitement to Ann Arbor as folks are going to look at him, basically say, hey, listen, this is a guy that took Florida Atlantic, yes, that Florida Atlantic to the Final Four last season. Now, of course, one big question, will May be able to win over the alumni in Ann Arbor? And I think he will because what we saw this last season was not becoming of Michigan basketball and the support around the program. A near empty Chrysler Center at times, as his fan base unfortunately had turned on Juwan Howard. We saw a scenario where the road teams at times, a la a Purdue or a Michigan State, had just as many, if not more, fans in the stands cheering on their respective team at the Chrysler Center than the home team, Michigan. Basically a practically empty arena on Senior Day, which is unheard of. So I think that the fans and the alumni will get behind Dusty May as he looks to turn things around for Michigan. For the Wolverines, will they be able to benefit from the transfer portal? That's a big way for teams to get things turned around quicker. Okay, with this transfer portal now, we saw Michigan last year lose Hunter Dickinson in the transfer portal. That really hurt Michigan's team. Of course, they were also looking to get some guys in the transfer portal as well, and that fell through. And you have to wonder if that was not the case. We're probably not having this conversation right now because Juwan Howard is more than likely still the coach. Michigan would have had a much better season. But I think May has an opportunity. He's going to recruit the Midwest, of course, but then also using that transfer portal to help expedite things as the Wolverines are looking to get back on track and once again be a force in the Big Ten Conference. At the end of the day, you knew that Dusty May was not hanging around the Florida Atlantic long term. I think one of the biggest reasons for him returning to the school for this past season was due to the fact that he had a lot of talent returning for the Owls as they were looking to get back to the Final Four. They had a pretty good season. They went 25-9 after going 35-4 last season. Clearly, it didn't work out in the NCAA tournament as they lost in round number one to Northwestern. And you just have to wonder if Dusty May's complete focus was still on Florida Atlantic at the time because following the Owls' elimination from the NCAA tournament, the courtship by Michigan for Dusty May happened rather quickly. So it's one of those things we probably will never get the real story behind it, if you will. But for Michigan, they're going to look to get things turned back around. I mean, this was one of the worst seasons in Michigan basketball history. You got to go back about 60 years to find the last time that the Wolverines had a season this bad. I think what Michigan has to do first and foremost, they've got to get back to competing. That is something that they did not do at times this past season. They've got to get more efficient and tougher defensively as a way to say, you know what, we're not going to give up the points in the fashion like we did the past season. And then, of course, the wins. 8-24 is not going to cut it at any level of college basketball. And I think if you're Michigan and you're the fan base, you want to put this season behind you rather quickly. But again, it's a new day for Michigan basketball. And again, like I said before, with that transfer portal, that can really expedite things. So if Dusty May can hit that portal and find a guy or two okay, that can go out there and make an impact on his program, along with bringing in some recruits, Michigan could turn things around within a couple of years. I'll tell you like this. It's one of those where I'm not going to go as far yet to say that Michigan is going to be a tournament team next year. But I tell you like this, uh, by the first game of next season, I do believe that the Wolverines will be better than what we saw them at the finish of this season when they were clearly just trying to get to the finish line and wrap it up for what had been such a disappointing season. But nonetheless, Michigan set their sights on Dusty May. They got their guy, and let's see if May has what it takes to turn around the fortunes on the hardwood for the maize and blue. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line to be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.